Tinu, thank you. Thank you.
Before.
I'm sorry. Remember. I'm sorry. Okay, so that was the challenge for today.
Right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sorry, I've just joined, so I'm not sure what your question is.
Okay, so I was talking about the challenge for today. The challenge for today was to make someone smile. So did you make someone smile? You made people smile. How did you do that? How did you go about it? And how did it make you feel afterwards?
Okay, so coincidentally, I already had a plan today because today is my father-in-law's birthday. So I'd already planned I'll get the boys to do a recording for him since we can't be there and send the recording to him. So later this evening when we called to wish him happy birthday, we found out that was the highlight of his day. He's been sharing the recording with everybody that came to visit him, So yeah, fantastic. Obviously that made us feel very good as well, Yeah. It was fulfilling.
That's fantastic. Well done. And how did that make you feel? Yourself and the children?
It made us feel, personally, it made me feel fulfilled, the fact that I can make, grandpa happy and the kids are excited about it. So yeah, it made me feel good.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing with us. All right. So who is yes, I've called her before. EABA. I like that name. EABA. Please can you unmute your mic and talk to us? EABA. You don't have so much time. Okay, she's yet to unmute. So I'm going to come back to her. So while we're doing that, Mrs. Abigail, Mrs. Abigail Ajiri.
Hello. Yeah, that's. You mentioned it correct.
Yes.
This morning I was thinking who to help, and it was quite difficult. But God's so good; He sent someone straight to my house, a nurse. So I have these herbs, a lot of herbs in my cupboard, dandelion and other stuff. So I tell Auntie Dorcas, you are working with the hospital and it's dangerous for you. So I have something. And you can see the joy on her face. So I managed to package and label everything and give it to her. And she was so grateful. So I said, so I even have something to give. And I was even worried. At times we think it's money, but it's not all about money. Just little, these little things can go a long way. So thank you very much for this kind of ideas, and it's good.
We thank God. We thank our coach. Very good. Well done. Welcome, Mr. Abigail. That's fantastic. You made someone happy. Sometimes it's just about the things we say. Okay, no problem. No problem. You'll be a direct message. I got the message from you. No problem. All right. So sometimes it's just about the things we say. Sometimes it's just about some little things we do. And we just put a smile on other people's faces in one way or the other. We touch lives positively, and those things make us feel fulfilled. So, all right. So let me call on Prof. Prof. Our very own Professor Sikiru. Let's hear from you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah. Well, without planning to make someone happy, I think.
Prof, you're not very audible.
Okay. Without striving to make somebody, I believe they are happy. I make them happy. It's not a smile. It was even serious laughter.
Okay.
So today is my in-law's birthday. So I called him, and my sister was also there. So the discussion went through a lot of topics, and they had a very good laugh, and I also joined them.
Okay. So
we spoke for over 2 hours on the phone. So
fantastic.
I think it's long. They had such a laughter. The two of them are together. The children are no longer with them. They are grown up. So they were quite happy. I was from the way everybody was laughing. We remember the past, all these stories about what do you call it? about a spirit with two heads that somebody was fighting for of weight. So we discussed a lot about the past and we had about the childhood stuff, the nonsense. They taught us to telling us into the child we call it. They were telling us in the primary school. I think everybody enjoyed themselves. So they happened to be. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I was also happy because it's long I also had such discussion. So
fantastic, sir.
You are happy to discuss with me or to stay with me after I call to say happy birthday and so on and so forth. It seems the man was looking for somebody to talk to. So
and then you were actually able to fill in that gap. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, so let's hear from Flo Kame. I like the way the name sounds. I didn't know how to pronounce it initially. Flo Kame, please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic, Flo Kame. That's Mrs. Florence. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you very much. I still remember that your dance is still in my head.
Well, today the challenge was to put a smile on somebody's face.
Yes.
Actually, I do that on a regular basis. You know, today too, I also did that. I did some stuff to an old woman. She was very happy. I also did give out stuff to another person. I also made some calls to, as in for somebody that was passing through stuff to just encourage. So those are the activities of the day.
That's a lot. That's also a lot. Words of encouragement given of ourselves, either our time, words, financial help, just touching other lives positively. And at the end of the day, how did it make you feel as a person?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel happy. I feel, that's the happiness is just there. At least you made people happy too. It spreads, it goes round.
Yes.
That's it anyway. It's part of our lives somehow.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's part of our lives, but you've been amazed that sometimes it's very difficult for some people to do this, to achieve this with others. As easy as it seems, as easy as it appears, it doesn't always come so easy like that for some people. All right, thank you very much. I think I can take one more person. I can take one more person, just one more person before Dr. Ajayi, Dr. Alabi comes mounts the virtual podium. All right, so Mrs. Omoteniola, Mrs. Padlant, I want to call you, but I'm going to call Mrs. Omoteniola first.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning from here.
Good evening from here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so so since it's still morning, have you made people smile?
Not really, but that's what I do almost every day. Just make people happy at work. So this morning, before I left work, I tried to encourage someone who has the COVID-19 infection in quarantine, just to make her laugh before I left work this morning. And I still hope to do that during the day.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I hope you have a good day. After the meeting, have a good day and go out there and still spread the joy and the love from your heart.
Yeah, I will.
So last but not the least, Dr. Alabi, I'm sorry, just one more person. I always call her, and I'm going to call her again. Mrs. Padlat. Miss Padlat.
Hello.
60 seconds. Just 60 seconds. That's 1 minute.
How are you? I met you yesterday. I was asking after you yesterday from Dr. Alabi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma.
Yesterday, when I had a challenge, I was so happy because it's something that I usually do often, to make people smile. Well, don't let me go just too far. Is that I work with some elderly people though. Then, because I'm allowed to go in with the COVID, because that's my work, I went to the house. I bought some groceries, just not much. Then I went to the house. An elderly woman, gave it to her. She was so happy, smiled. Then I sat with her, cleaned a bit of her. I just cleaned her house for her. We were there just watching Jeremy Kyle, that Jeremy Kyle show. And she was so happy. I was talking to her. I just spent just like 20 minutes with her, cleaning her house, doing some chores with her. Then I left. She was so happy and she prayed for me alone because I do that often anyways.
That's fantastic. That work of charity in one way or the other. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all those who contributed this evening. Good evening, Dr. Alabi. Over to you, sir.
Well, good evening. I don't know what's up with my system again. So I can't get my green scale back. So it's showing that green scale thing. That's not what it's supposed to be showing. I don't know why it does that all the time. Ooh.
Dr. Alabi, your screen is making you look blue. There are different shades of blue on your face.
Well, I don't know why that is happening. Anyway, if you can't see my face, you can hear my voice, right?
Yes, sir. We can hear your voice, sir.
Okay. I do hope a few of us were able to do the task for today. I overheard quite a number of people expressing the fact that it's something to do oftentimes from time to time. Number one is a principle of nature. All that we sometimes mystify, all that we sometimes, wow, I don't know where that noise is coming from, if it's from my system or from, wow. Wow, it's coming from me. Hello, can you hear me now? There was a noise the other time. I wasn't sure where it was coming from.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. All right. So thank you, Mr. Lotta. So I was just saying that sometimes the principles we adapt and we use are those principles in nature. It's only a kind of us being smart to pay attention to nature, as it were. If we do that, most times we're going to be able to understand how things work in nature, and then be able to adapt that to our own lives. Most of the times, we want to struggle with nature. So it's like someone who is drowning. Most times, if you are drowning, the advice is that you flow in the direction. You allow the water. You allow yourself to be carried in the direction of the current, so as to save your soul, save yourself. Right. So that happens. That is just one thing we can also do when it comes to some of these principles we adapt, to use. We are just trying every time to understand what does nature say, and if we can actually follow the pattern of nature, most times we will be saved. Okay. Wow. I'm not sure I haven't lost people on the Zoom class or Zoom session.
You can hear you, sir.
You can still hear me? Can you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you see me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
see your background. Yeah, that's fine.
Is it just the background you're seeing or you're seeing me?
And we
So
can
in
see you.
the background, you're having challenges with. It's all right now.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, we need to understand that if we fight nature, we can't do that. And most of the activities and the things we do that have adverse impact on our health are things that we do in opposition to nature. I don't want to sound religious, but sometimes we want to replace nature with God because that is God. And the fact is that humans are running into problems. Our world is running into problems because it's like we are doing things in opposition with the principles, with the way of God, with the order that God has set in motion. And that is the beginning of, it's like what they say that he who the gods want to destroy, they first of all make mad. And that is the beginning of all the madness that we see all around us. And this madness, they give birth to most of the problems that we face in our world. And these problems are enormous. And every day they keep increasing. We want to alter what God has put in nature. We want to alter the systems, the patterns in nature that have sustained the earth, that have sustained our health, right? So we want to alter those patterns. Some of them we do intentionally. Some of them we do for a good cause. Some of them we do for a wrong cause. I do remember some years back when there was a surge in Lagos. And it was claimed that the surge was a result of activities on the ocean line on the island, and so you had issues with major part of the island, and then there was flooding and stuff like that. Now there is a lot still going on that axis. I wouldn't know what they have done to prevent, a surge and stuff like that. There's a lot of development that's going on there right now. Refineries are being built, an airport is going to be built, new roads are going on there and all of that. But the point I'm trying to make is that when we tamper with nature, we tamper with the order of things without paying attention to the consequences. It brings about certain reactions that impact us negatively, all right? And so one important aspect of nature is giving. Now, that is why when we're in school, we study in science, we understand that several systems that we study, we use the word circle for them. For example, the oxygen circle. It's a circle of how oxygen circulates and works within the system. We talk about the rain circle, the circle of the rain, how the rain forms, water circle, how water forms the rain, the condensation, evaporation, and all of that. You know why? It's because nature itself lives in that circle of giving. What you are giving is required for the existence of another thing in nature. And now, what that thing requires for living, for life, is gotten from you when you give. And what that other part of nature gives is also required for the existence of another thing in nature. Now, what you would need from your own existence is going to be supplied by the giving of something behind you in that circle. That's why sometimes when I try to explain photosynthesis, the relationship between the earth, the plants, and humans, how we all cohabit, and we all depend on each other for our survival. The plants require the carbon dioxide that we give out as our byproduct for survival. Now, the plants give out oxygen as their own byproduct. We need the oxygen to survive. And that is the way the entire world rotates. It's like the giving pattern, the giving circle is a circle of nature, is a pattern of nature that the world operates by. Now, there are two water bodies. We have the seas and the ocean, right? Now, I was reading a story, true life story right now, of one young boy who had gone about 11 years ago, who had gone to Alpha Beach in Lagos with his friends. all those things they do. And then when he got there, he had a drink in his hand, and then he poured the drink into the water, and then took the water again, rinsed the cup, and threw the drink back there. He said that was the last he knew. But what he saw was that he saw his whole body submerged in the sand, turned upside down the other way. He couldn't move his hand, he couldn't move anything, but he was rescued. Very lucky to have been rescued. By the time he was out, his CT4 was already gone. So as we speak right now, he's still paralyzed. He can't even do anything. Now, somebody now made a comment on that post and said he offended nature because the sea does not want death. And so throwing death at that thing, that was the reaction. Well, it can be people who worship the sea, who believes in all of those things, they can explain what actually happened there. I don't know what happened. But these two water bodies, we were told one gives out. And that is why it's always receiving and it's always increasing. One does not always give out. So it's stagnant and sometimes stinks. It's not the kind of good water. It's saltless. It doesn't have salt in it. So it's more like a dead water, and then you can't do anything with it. But the one who is consistently giving out and renewing himself and replenishing himself is always fresh, is always clean. Just like you don't want to compete. You can't drink from a pond or from a lake because usually they don't flow out, right? All their source is just within themselves. So the point I'm trying to make is to emphasize the aspect of giving. Now, in our faith, in some of the religious beliefs that we have, giving is oftentimes emphasized, and then we are told to do it so that we can receive something in return. Now, we shouldn't give because of that alone. It's not the only reason for us to give. We should give without expecting anything in return. But one thing is certain, that when you are giving, you are also aiding the cause of nature. And that is the truth. And I cannot sit here and tell you countless people who have done these good deeds, they have given out. When you see the billionaires in the world giving, it's not because they want to be generous. It's because they understand this principle of nature, that you have received a lot from nature. The only way you can sustain and keep receiving is by giving. You have to create an outlet for you to give. If you don't create that outlet for you to give, everything you think you have is going to implode right underneath you. It's either you begin to stink, or something happens to you, or the money can't even find a place to flow anymore. It can kill. And so you find them always finding an avenue to give. Some nations of the world had also made it, they've made it a law that, okay, when you earn up to this particular amount, then you have to give. And people are doing it, and they are having it. I have seen people who had been appointed the day of death. They have been told you cannot live for more than 6 months. And what did they do? They just went into their wardrobe, they opened it up, and they began to give out every cloth in there. And 6 months turned to 1 year. 1 year to 12 years, and up to now they are still alive. Why? They understood the power of giving. Now we want to, in the religious circle, we want to call it, okay, there's a faith attached to it. I do not disagree with that. There is something I do not disagree with that. But there are people who don't even go to church, who don't even go to mosque, but they understand this principle. And like I said, almost in every faith it is emphasized. Okay, in the Yoruba traditional setting, they will say something like, okay, bake something, fry bean cake, and give it to people. What do you think they're trying to tell you to do? They're trying to tell you the same principle of giving. It's only a principle in nature. Now, whether you believe God as a creator of the universe or not, there is always something at the back of your mind that is pointing your attention towards the fact that there is a pattern, there is a way nature operates. And so even if you don't believe in God, all those things can't just exist like that randomly. There must be someone, there must be a painter, there must be an artist who is behind those things, making them to work, making them to function, right? And so it's his own pattern. He creates those patterns, and then we walk by those patterns. And if we walk by those patterns, we're going to live a healthy life. A lot of us, when we start boot camps, I usually tell people this: go into your pantry, go into your storehouses, go into your storeroom, and then trash whatsoever is there. The reason some people can be healthy, if you get into their kitchen, is like a museum. Like, how do I put it right now? They have, apologies to Nigerians, the Owambe people especially, some people can bring you the souvenir plate that they received from somebody's wedding that was not even the wedding. Some weddings that they collected their souvenirs has been dissolved. They are still carrying the plates in their homes. You see all the plastic plates, the coolers, and the likes of them. Everything is there. These are things that most women don't even use in 3 years, in 4 years, but they still pack everything up. There's an adage to say that it's because you refuse to overlook certain things and give them away. That is why the way you pack your stuff looks like the packing of a madman. Somebody who is insane, who is on the roads, they always pick everything. When somebody who is mentally ill picks, feed on a thing, he even refuses to throw away the wraps. And some people do that as well. Sometimes I find it difficult to dispose of the wraps of cologne and perfumes if they are very nice. I used to kind of keep the bottle and still keep them. I still want to look at them like, oh, this is nice. I use this and I keep it there. Some people do that as well. But look, there's nothing you are doing with it. The spray is gone. Throw it away. Give it out. Right. There are things we should check in our homes that we do not use. Clothes. Say women have a lot of clothes. Ask them, how many of these clothes have they worn in 1 year? How many have they not used in 2 years? You may want to decongest your house so that at least peace can breathe in. And see, it's a principle again in nature. Until you give out what's in one hand, you cannot receive anything in that same hand because that hand is filled up. Many a times we are filled up, we are choked. We are choked in the way our houses, our homes are arranged. We are choked. You see people who have 2 sets of furniture in their living room. Doing what? No breathing space. You want to put one leg here, it is blocked. Put one leg there, it is blocked. Give out one set. Let other people enjoy and benefit from what you have. I don't know who just joined. Please, you can please look into your speaker. If you're not the one speaking, so you just mute it so that you can help us. Okay? Thank you. Right. So these are things that we can do, that we should do oftentimes. Let's go about our homes, go into our closet, do an audit. There are clothes, there are shoes. There are people who they can hold on to shoes like forever. They don't wear the shoes anymore, but it's just there, hanging on the wall, and you just look at it every time, and it's occupying space. You need that space. Somebody needs to, benefit from that space. Give out the shoes, give out the clothes, give out those utensils, give out those cookwares that you don't use anymore. Look at so there is one people often do as well. Leftovers in your refrigerator for more than 1 month. What are you doing with it? It's packed up. You put it in there. That one day you will come back to it, and you have never been able to get back to it in 1 month. What are you still doing? Go through your refrigerator, go through your deep freezer, empty and throw out whatsoever is there you have not used in a while. You don't need it. Either you give them out or you just empty it out. But if they are still good, why throw them away when you can give them out? It's a principle. And so, just like the way we do physical fitness and we sweat, the sweating is a way of giving out. If we do not give it out, if it stays within our body, it becomes toxic to us. It's the same principle that applies to our lives, to the things that we do. It's a principle of nature. There is something it does to us in our health. There's something it does to our health. There's something it does to our mind. There's something it does to our psyche. So when we say, go out of your way, make someone smile. The fact that you can even make someone smile alone brings a lot of relief. The fact that you know that these people are smiling and you are the reason, you are the person responsible for that smile. That is a lot. Some people who are wicked, who make people cry all of the time. I want to ask them how they sleep. I want to ask them how they cope with life. I want to ask them, how do you go through life knowing that you are responsible for the tears, for the sadness, for the unhappiness in people's mind, the politicians, who people vote for, they steal the money of the people. Look at the time of the palliative in Nigeria. Look at the story of the palliative. Very sad. Very sad. And according to the words of Chief Femi Falana, he said, and I quote, "How can a government hoard Indomie?" End of quote. What are you hoarding today? That should be the question we should ask yourself. Are you also hoarding Indomie? Or what exactly are you hoarding? What is it that, what do you have that you're supposed to give away that you have refused to give away? Come on, go in there. Look at I don't even know how many Nigerians that were hungry, that were affected, impacted by the COVID lockdown. Yet there was enough food that would have gone round for the entire nation. And some few greedy people sat on top of those food. These are politicians who will still sit on the money meant for the people. They could still go ahead to sit on the food meant for the people. It is wickedness. And it's the reason we find little development in Africa. It's just the reason. It's not like these people are more. I don't even think they are not as intelligent, not half as intelligent. And I can tell you, I can prove that. I tell people I can prove anytime. If you're angry, don't be angry. I can tell you that Africans are among the most intelligent people you can ever think of. And the other people, no. Intelligence, I don't think is a gift that God gave to them. But something that trumps intelligence is a good-natured heart. Let me say that again. A kind heart, a good nature will always supersede intelligence any day, anytime. That is the only advantage that they have. They have been able to create a system, an economy, a community, a nation that takes care of the vulnerable, of the less privileged. They give a voice to them. They want to make their voices count. They provide for their needs. There are people who resign their job. They resigned their jobs. They left their jobs to collect palliative from government, because the government palliative for this COVID lockdown was more than how much they were making in a month. So they stopped working and they were sleeping at home. And people are in Nigeria hoarding oh my God, taking the food even when there was no lockdown. There are people who live on meal tickets that government gives to them, welfare tickets that government gives to them, people who live that their rent is being paid for by the government. The welfare structure is so solid, so grand. There are women who are single mothers that are being paid for taking care of the kids every month. Government is giving them some money. It may not be too much, but something is going to them. It's the only reason this system, or this abroad, Obodo Yibo like we call it, it's the only reason it's different. That's the only reason. Nothing more. Intelligence, you cannot, how many Nigerians will you call on the phone and tell them, okay, I have, my name is Prince so. I'm in the Nigerian army. I'm in the army somewhere in Afghanistan. If you send me $1,000, I have $1 million somewhere. If you bring $1,000, that I will be able to get the $1 million. And when I get the $1 million, I can send back part of the portion. How many Nigerians can you tell that story that I will believe you? I doubt. There might be a few, but very, very few that you will tell that story. But look at, do you know how many of their own people have been told that stories and have been told that same story? Same story. They've had it all over. Same emails. They've seen it. Yeah, they keep falling for it. Do you know why? They are not as intelligent as people think they are. That's just it. So we are. But like I said, a good nature, kindness. Yeah, a good nature and kindness will always exceed intelligence any day, anytime. So go out of your way, make someone smile, make the day count for them, and then see how this works out in your own favor. All right. So I have also said today that I am going to talk about our immune health. And please, I'd like you to just listen carefully to the things that I'm going to share today. Oof. There is a background noise somewhere. I don't know where it is coming from. Okay. All right, I think I stopped it. Now, I said today I'm going to talk about our immune health, especially as it regards the current situation that is going on in the world right now. I can't but overemphasize the fact that your immune health compromised will increase your chances, not just for COVID-19, but for any other infection, anything. So whenever anything is dropping, it's very likely that you're going to catch it. And then, so what do we do? How do we do to ensure that our immune health is in turbo? I will always say that there are things not to do and there are things to do. So you want to balance it up. Do the things that you're supposed to do and stop the things that you are not supposed to do so that you can help your immune health. And when you help your immune health, it's so guaranteed that your health is going to be the better for it. Okay. All right. So let me start by talking about the things you are not supposed to do. Okay? This morning I saw another video where another test was carried out on the blood, on the human blood, and they tested what the white blood cells, their activities, when someone was yet to take alcohol and when the person, after the person had taken alcohol. They compared the two, and it was discovered that there was a 40% reduction in the effectiveness of the white blood cells of the immune system of that fellow after the person had taken alcohol. Now, these are not the days to go on a binge, to go and go on excessive drinking. These are not those days. Well, my argument when people tell me that alcohol is good for your red wine is good for your heart, and I tell them what is good for your heart in red wine is called resveratrol. Resveratrol. It is found in grapes, and most red wines are found in those grapes. The same grapes, those grapes. You have the green one, you have the red grapes. Those red grapes, in fact, some wines are made from the green grapes. Those red grapes are what gives resveratrol. So if what you are looking for is the health of your heart that is making you to take one glass of red wine, then my recommendation to you is to take red grapes, and you'll be fine, and you would not need to go and drink and drink. Because the truth is that there is no amount of red wine that you drink. The percentage of alcohol in those things is actually higher than the percentage of the resveratrol which you claim to be looking for. So why not go for the source of resveratrol where it is available and consume and help your health? So you'll be fine instead of you sitting down and binging on red wine. Right, so these are not the days to consume alcohol excessively. Again, if you think that you have problems with alcohol, you need a therapy, you want to stop drinking, you can't stop, you tried, and then it's becoming like an addiction to you. You may need help. You may want to look out for help. I also know that there are a few herbs that can be used for people who are battling with some addictions like heroin, addictions like alcohol, addictions like marijuana. We have some natural products that can be used. Even cigarettes. If you want to quit smoking, there are natural products that can be used to handle that. Okay? Now, so that is number one. It's not time for you to be heavy on alcohol. So if you still know people who are still heavy on alcohol, who still love to drink and stuff like that, in this pandemic, it's not a time for them to be heavy on alcohol. Number two is to desist from processed sugar. Now, what people don't understand is that sugar is also an alcohol. Sugar is an alcohol. Biochemists will tell us that. Dr. Ajayi is in transit. The last time he spoke with me about a few hours ago, I just saw his message now because I had the nap. I had to take a nap. And then he was telling me, I saw his message, he said he had a layover in Addis Ababa. Right, so he should be on his way to Nigeria any moment he should be in Nigeria any moment from now. Okay? And so he's a biochemist by training. And so he will understand, he will be able to tell us that sugars are alcohols. Right. So what will happen? What happens when you take alcohol will also happen if you take sugar. What happens if you take alcohol will also happen if you take sugar, especially the processed and the refined sugar. You do not want to do that. I've spoken about that experiment carried out before, just like the same case of alcohol, where they tested the blood samples were taken of somebody before he took sugar, and then the blood samples were also taken after the person had taken sugar, and they studied the movement of the white blood cells. Their motility actually decreased, and then they couldn't move and be fast enough to respond in the case of an infection because they were drunk with sugar. The impact of sugar is seen even in the cognitive development of children. So we are loading so many kids these days with a lot of sugar foods, sugar drinks, and that is affecting their brain cell development. Why? We're already getting them addicted. If you know that sugar is addictive, there are people who cannot do without taking soda, who can do without pop every now and again. They always want to take that and drink and like that. They are actually slowing down the effective work of the immune system. And if such a person gets infected, comes in contact at any point in time when their immune working is low, is very, very certain that they are going to catch something. All right. Number 3, that the things you shouldn't do at this time. Sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation is something you want to guard against at this time. You want to sleep at the right time. What we recommend is a minimum of 6 hours of sleep. It may not be at a stretch 8 hours, but take out time to nap, because your sleep also determines your immune health. Excuse me. Thank you. Your sleep also impacts your immune health, because when you do not sleep, your body is stressed out. Stress has its own negative impact. In fact, stress is going to be the next point, the number 4 thing I was going to talk about, that you need to live a stress-free life at this point in time. When you are stressed, your immune health is compromised. The ability of your cells to be able to do what they should do is compromised. I have said that the last 3-4 days, it seems to be like the major thing. There have been no day that I have not mentioned the impact of stress, emotional stress especially, and how it affects our health, your mood, how it affects how your body responds to treatment and medications, as it were, how your body reacts to recovery, how stress can impact that, how 2 people can be given the same medication, the same therapy, the same treatment. One gets better and the other one refuses to respond as a function of what is going on in their mental health, in their mental space, in their mind, and they do not respond. So I've said that oftentimes, and it has no substitute. You need to work on your mind. So you have to de-stress. Right? Have a way of exiting stress from your body. Try to reduce whatsoever you are doing that is making you and giving you constant stress, repetitive stress. Okay, yeah, that is also a kind of stress, repetitive stress. So let me also advise, very strong and very important advice for everybody at this point in time. Please and please try to ensure that you have ashwagandha at home. Okay, so don't buy it yet. Wait till next week before you buy ashwagandha so that you can buy from me. That is by way of advertisement. Our line, our product line should be launched next week. It's called Nutramis. Nutramis. That is the name. You're gonna see the adverts. Nutramis. So you can order online, and then ashwagandha is one of the things that I would recommend that everybody should have at home. See, ashwagandha is an adaptogen. It's one of the many adaptogens that are out there. And what from the word adaptogen, adapt is there, right? So what do? They help the body and help your immune system. So that's part of the things that I will talk about doing. Adaptogens help your body. They help your immune system, as the case may be, to be able to function properly. So when your body is under unnecessary stress, and stress can come from anything and from any source. Listen, people are dying today. We hear the news. Some of us respond and react immediately. Some people don't react immediately. They absorb the stress. Right? There are stress events. The loss of a loved one is a stress event. The loss of a job is a stress event. Moving from one house to another is a stress event. I think I've taken that class before. Stress events are not always negatives. Stress events are sometimes positive, good development. For example, a woman who had just put to bed, that's a stress event. And I remember when I was taking this class, I said, people in Africa love to go ahead, and when someone has just put to bed, we always want to go there and sit down with the woman. In fact, some people will start from the hospital. They are going there to bombard the hospital and they want to go there. Oh my God, that is not something you want to do. The woman has just gone through stress. The body has gone through a stress that is going to take her. Some people never recover from the stress of childbirth, of childbearing. They take about another pregnancy, they apply it again, maybe 1 year, 2 years. It's not 1 year that it takes a woman to recover fully. It's not 1 year. Some women never recover. Their entire lifetime, they don't recover because they don't even know in the first place that they're supposed to recover. There are those that they have one pregnancy, they have one delivery. In 2 months, they have taken in again. The body is not yet healed properly from the first delivery. They've conceived again. They're rushing it. They're taking it. Now, some people do that 3 times, 4 times, and then they live life. So that event itself is stressful. That's one. Number 2, the baby that is being born doesn't follow our own rhythm and timing. Our own timing is that you eat 3 times in a day. And those times is already structured. In the morning, you eat in the afternoon, then you eat at night. Babies don't know that. They want to eat at any time when they feel like, and you have no choice. You have to feed them. Most of these times are in the night. Nighttime when the mother of the baby, the new mother, should be sleeping. She can't sleep because the baby wants to feed. So she has to stay awake. Now, the mother is there. She can't sleep at night. She's not getting enough sleep. That, again, on its own is a stress event. Now, the daytime that she could probably steal a nap here or there is when all the village people now come together. They want to visit her and see her. And God forbid if he does not show up. I've even seen some cultures where the new mother will have to pound yam, prepare meals for the family. Then all the relatives from the husband's side will come around and she's to serve and cook for them. What kind of culture is that? I've seen people who had fought with hospital staff and tell them, "What are you guys doing? We have come to see." Who told you that they must name a child on the 8th day? And even if they must name a child on the 8th day, who told you the whole village must gather to name the child? When I had my first son, people were waiting to come for the naming ceremony. They were disappointed because the moment you are calling me, I'm telling you the name of the child. So what are you coming to do again? You already have the name. So what are you coming to do? It's over. Don't come and bother anybody. Don't bother yourselves. It's not about the food or the meal. But there are times that we should learn how to do our things in private. We have to lead. We should. I'm not saying it's not good to do stuff and celebrate and do Owambe, but sometimes private living has several benefits. Lots of benefits, right? Some people they are inherited enemies for themselves just because of one party they threw, because of one celebration. And they inherited, and in fact, there are people that have been injured, badly injured in their life, that they can't recover from there. After one celebration, after one party, and someone said, "I came to that party, I was not served." Or they served me food, and the meat on top of it was the meat was small. Oh, so they disrespected me. I will show them in that family. And they really showed some families. And they are still showing some families even as we speak today. So why are you trying to, advertise yourself unnecessarily? Avoid things that will create stress for you. So I was just trying to say that childbirth is a stress event, and new mothers need a lot of rest. This orientation I'm trying to talk about now, I want to preach it until everybody gets it. That you don't go to see a newborn mother. Please convert all your greeting, convert it to money and send to them. They will appreciate it. Talk to the husband. Let the husband know you're calling. The husband will tell the wife, "Oh, this person called, that person called." You can sign up open a register, do baby shower. People don't do baby shower. They are waiting for the day of the naming ceremony. They want to carry plate and eat the food, and they begin to bombard the client. No, do a baby shower. Let them know that you care. The woman would appreciate that than for you to go and bombard her when she's still in the hospital at the time where she needs all the time to rest and to relax. Now, ashwagandha is one adaptogen that can be used to help people adapt very well. The body will not respond or react negatively to stress, and it's also going to help the immune system. Ashwagandha, that is the name of that product. Ashwagandha. Ganda like Gandhi. Ash like ash. ASH. W-A. Ganda. Gandhi. G-H-A-N-D-A. Now, not I for Gandhi. So if I spell it, ASH. WAGHANDA. Somebody is going to put it on the WhatsApp group for people who are in the camp in the 21 day challenge. So you're going to see it. So why have I recommended it? Don't be too spiritual right now. People are dying. I do not know. I don't think there will be any family right now that probably is not being touched by the COVID-19 that you will say, if not in your immediate family, probably in your extended family. If you have not lost a relative, you have lost a friend, you've lost a loved one. What we do most times is that we move on like, okay, we have some superpowers to handle grief. Now, you do not. Your body absorbs the information. In fact, at the time of breaking the news to you, there is a lot of hormonal distortion and imbalance that takes place in your body. It's like the flight and flee hormone is released into your system, into your bloodstream. I've encountered so many clients that never recovered, and so they just thought that happened. By the time we sit down and I begin to analyze, okay, what happened, and then we take it 1 month back, 2 months back. There are those that it happened 3 months back, and I've seen a case of somebody whose case started 16 years back when the person lost a loved one, somebody so close. So how did you grieve that moment? Then everything just got distorted from then, and then it's been the cycle of distortion even up to the time I met with the person. Some people's one was 3 months ago. I met a woman who told me 3 months ago, a colleague of mine we school together, passed on, and the moment they told her the news, from that time she's been unable to sleep. She just finds out that at every 11 p.m. she's awake and she couldn't go back. She won't be able to go back to sleep anymore. She's done everything. She's seen a specialist. They've recommended several tests, yet nothing has changed. Maybe she's even listening or watching right now. I'm not sure. One of the things she said was that so once it is 11 o'clock, they're gonna bring the mattress to the living room, and all our children and the husband will sit and be watching her so that she can't sleep. And at the end of the day, she still would not be able to sleep. And then everybody stays there, and I'm like, so you are going through stress, you can't sleep. Now you are transferring the same stress to members of your family, and many people are also doing that. So what am I trying to say? Ashwagandha is to the rescue. I'm not saying only ashwagandha. That is one of the things that I will recommend. There are so many other things that probably you might be able to use. Like I will always say again, that we do not just push one solution. Everything we talk about works in collaboration with your diet adjustment and lifestyle modification. Right. So, but ashwagandha, you need it. So, if you feel like you're going through some stress, emotions, you want to take that real quick, take 1 tab of that. Your vitamin D is also very important. So I think I'm not jumping ahead of myself. I'm not talking about the things to take, right, to help your immune health, right, the things to do. I'm not going there. I'm talking about the things not to do, right, to help your immune health. So I've mentioned 4 of them. Now the fifth thing I will talk about is to avoid dehydration at all costs during this season. You don't want to go without water. Pay attention to your urine. Your urine tells you the level of hydration, how well hydrated your body is. Because of course, our immune system also flows in forms of liquid through, they flow through a liquid passage where they are easily mobilized to the part of the body where they are required. And when there is dehydration, it's going to impede their speed. It's going to impede their motility to get done the job they are supposed to do. So what are the things you should do intentionally at this time to help your health? Number 1, try to work in the reverse of the things I spoke about. Don't take alcohol, don't take sugar, right? Avoid unnecessary stress, avoid sleep deprivation, avoid dehydration. Try to achieve those 5 things. So take a lot of water now. Ensure that you are getting rehydrated every night again. Ensure you have enough sleep. That is what to do at this point in time. Ensure that you don't take sugar. Instead of sugar, refined sugar or processed sugar, go for natural sugars. Go for stevia, agave. You can take coconut sugar. There are some things. Date, very important. Date is very important. Date is going to help your immune health. Tiger nut in place of the dairy product. Tiger nut milk also helps your immune health. There was a research conducted on the missionaries who first came to Africa, and that those of them who survived were those who were living on tiger nuts. Those who survived as they were moving into Africa, there were those who lived on tiger nuts. You want to take tiger nuts, it's going to boost your immune and help your immune and set it up in turbo. So that is number 1 thing to do. Number 2 is the use of supplements. That, like the one I just mentioned, ashwagandha is just one of those supplements you want to have in your chest of supplements, right? Don't just Litter your house and buy all kinds and all sorts of things that they market in the name of multi-level marketing. Like I said, I have a problem with multi-level marketing because a product that is $10 can be sold for $100 so that everybody on the level of marketing can partake out of it, right? And who bears the cost? It is the consumer, the person who is striving to regain his health, that is going to bear the cost of that payment. That is my problem with it. Another thing, I am not saying the supplements they push are not effective. No, the supplements most times are very effective, very potent, but they do not worth the cost at which they are being pushed at. Some of the supplements that will be sold in Nutramins are supplements that contain many of the ingredients you will find in most of those products being pushed on the multi-level marketing scheme, right? Pyramid, and for a fraction of the cost. Because that is a motivation for me. The motivation is to ensure that people who need these supplements can actually access them for their health. So we can't read people off. The pharmaceuticals can be doing the same thing. We shouldn't be doing what the pharmaceuticals are doing, the big firm. We shouldn't do what they are doing. We should make life easy for people. So ashwagandha is one. Your vitamin D3 is very important at this point in time. And if you're a woman, you want to add vitamin K2 to vitamin D3. Vitamin K2 should be added to vitamin D3. All of this is going to help your immune health, not just your immune health. A whole lot of the activities of the human body, they are predicated on the body's ability to utilize vitamin D3 and the operations that surround the workings of vitamin D3 in the body. If that is not done, most of the things that the body also would want to do will not kick in. The things we use will not be used. Why? The sun remains the energy-giving source of life, and then most of the things that we need as humans to live, we get the energy to get them done from the sun. So what the sun gives to the human body that is so important is the ability to engage the operations of vitamin D. That is why it is so essential, and it's also a decider, like a major difference between us because of our melanin pigmentation and the people that do not have a kind of pigmentation. So it's a major decider. All right. So number 3, what else can you do at this time to help your immune health? Please try to have. We've not had the class. I'm going to talk about that. Mindful eating, mindful feeding. Part of mindful feeding is to pay attention to the source of the food that you are eating. You don't want to saddle your body with things that are not healthy. You want to make sure that your body is being fed, because what you eat, what you feed on, they remain the building block your body requires and utilizes to do all these functions, and that is how your body is built. So if you supply one cement, like somebody who wants to build a house and brings in cement from a company that is not reputable, the quality is not there, you're likely going to have such buildings like that would collapse, and we have cases of building collapse. So some people are having cases of building collapse in their health. Their health is collapsing because the cements, which are the building blocks for their body to build, that the quality that is being supplied to the body is not a good one. It's not a grade A quality. You want to improve on the grade of what you are feeding in your system. And feeding, like I said, has about 5 things to consider. You have to consider how the food is grown, consider how it is preserved, consider when you are eating the food, consider how you eat the food, then consider when you are eating the food, at what time you eat the food. You want to go back to the various video sessions we've had on the DAR circle for proper understanding of when. When is also as important as what you are eating. It's so important. So it's not enough to eat something good. It's also important to eat at the right time. So let those two things always be at the right time, the right proportion also. Proportion is also important. It's not now you want to feed on Mountain Gibraltar, and then you say now because your money is arrived, you want to eat anyhow. That is not the time for that. You want to eat appropriately and eat moderately. What else can you do to boost your immune health? Number 5, excuse me. Number 5, you want to work out regularly. Exercise, excuse me, exercise works and helps your immune health. You don't want to live a sedentary life. You want to move your body. A lot of our immune system works from our limbs, right? Our limbs now, the limbs, the nodes. And this, they do not do anything. They can be docile when they are not put to use. So that is why workout sessions, fitness routine is important. Now, if all you are doing is to take a walk, that is good. So that is where they advocate taking a walk. Taking a walk is good. They say it helps your cardio. Good. It makes you to sweat. Good. But you know what I said again, if you are doing what you are doing, maybe because you want to detox, you want to also lose some weight, taking a walk it might not be enough. Even if you're working for 24 years like Johnny Walker, might not be enough because there are parts of your body that will not move, so you want to make them to move, so you want to take a walk, okay? But so you want to do more than just walking. That's the point I was trying to make. You want to do more than walking, so that might work for you if you are not working on anything on your weight and all of that. You just want to keep it, that's fine. But if you really want to lose some weight, shed some stuff, then you need to do more than taking a walk. Do the fitness. 20 minutes, sweat it out. You are not only trying to keep shape, you are also helping your immune system, as the case may be. All right. So all of these put together, the do's and the don'ts, if you marry them together, it's likely that your immune health is going to be in trouble. The final one that I'm going to put as a cap to it is to detox your mind of fear, negative emotions. Right? Even if you do all I have said, and then you are still afraid. I have seen people, when COVID-19 started, I had to do an entire video session to talk about pseudo symptoms. That's the name of the video. It's on our YouTube channel, where I met a lot of people who started calling. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm having this symptom. I'm having that symptoms. Do I have COVID? What can you do? How can you help? And blah, like that. And then most times I discover that these people don't have COVID. What they have is what I call the fear of COVID-19. Some people are still running their lives based on the fear of COVID-19. Now, fear kills more people than death. Don't be among those people that would die, not because of death, but you are dying because of fear. Do the necessary things, take precautions, keep the safe, do the social distancing thing like you've been told. You wear a face mask and wear a shield. Of course, when I say these things, I lose members. When I say these things, I lose followers. And I don't care. I need to let you know. If anybody is telling you that COVID-19 is fake, is a conspiracy theory, there is nothing like that, I pray that it does not visit your homes. People who have been infected, people who have lost loved ones will come back to tell you COVID-19 is real. I don't care what the pastor is saying. I don't care how much anointed they are. Please, let anybody who is not an expert in this field shut up and let's hear what science has got him to say. Is it planted intentionally? That is none of my business. But my business is that, is it out there? Yes, it is out there. It is real. And people are dying because of it. Now, if for someone to say, no, it does not exist, that is what they call COVID idiots. It's so idiotic, right? So, and if there are people who are trying to tell you that this thing exists, then it should be a more reason for you to be cautious and to mind, you're going around and not just, I can't even fathom why anybody would sit down and be like, the entire world, the economy of the world will be shut down, grounded for an entire year because they want to push a theory. If the whole world should die, what are the people they want to put and apply all those theories, all those things? What are the people? It doesn't make any logical sense, right? I'm not saying that some things will not happen. Some things will happen. There are prophecies that will happen. We can't change them. No matter what we do, we cannot stand against them. They will definitely happen. But on this note, please do the necessary things. Not do them out of fear, but do them for safety and for precaution. And I believe that you're going to be fine. Your health also is going to be the better for it. All right. So on that note, I'm going to stop for today. Do we have any question? I've taken about 8 minutes more than I should stay. I'll take 1 or 2 questions quickly. Then I'll talk about the task for tomorrow. Okay. Any question?
Yes, please. Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Please, is that date sugar real?
Um, truly, date sugar. I know of date syrup, and I know that there are so many things that sugar is being made from these days. So long as it's organic, they've made sugar from the palm. That is the palm sugar. That is coconut sugar. Like it's you find them in that smooth stuff, right? If the main source of it is organic, they have not added anything like chemicals into it, then it can be good. I know of date syrup which you cannot actually even make by yourself on your own. I won't be surprised if that is date sugar because of the number of countries that use date, and in Asia, especially like you go to Dubai, the Emirates, date is so common to them there. Date is like their most popular product. Yeah, we go to all their homes, they have it there in abundance. So my take is that if it's date and it's organic, then it's good.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Another person, take one more, and then we close it up for today. Okay, so that means there is none, so we can go ahead. So I won't talk about this tomorrow when we meet. I'm only going to talk about antioxidants tomorrow in the evening session. The task for tomorrow is to review your plans for 2021. So Ms. Olota will talk about that before I come on the set for you to sit down and review the plans. I want to believe that there are people are not dropping their lives. Their lives are not being put on hold because of COVID-19. You should look at it like an opportunity to, what word do I use right now? Diversify, look inward and do something, apart from what you are used to doing. Even if they say if you can't do what you should normally do, that is the case over here. A lot of people are now doing new things. They are finding new meaning to their lives. You want to do that as well. So look at it as an opportunity, not like an adversity. If you look at it, it depends on your perspective. So if you look at it like an adversity, it's likely you're going to be depressed and you may not come out of this alive. And that's just true because today, my prime minister was still speaking today and he still said it, that we don't even know what is going to happen in 1 year or 2 years' time. Those are what power saying they don't know what will happen. And it's not a lie, it's just the truth. It's just like put out the truth, let people know what to plan for. So you might want to start thinking about, okay, so what else can I do? How can I think outside of the box to still make what I do relevant to people? That is one thing. Then if what I do cannot be useful during this pandemic, what else can I do that will be relevant? So it's part of what we may also review your plans for the year 2021. So you want to work on that. And then tomorrow we want to be able to talk about that. Then how I'm talking about the roles of antioxidants and why they are so important. Tomorrow will be the things I will talk about. So like I said last week, the registration for the March cohort for the Nutraceutical Health College is starting. So please get yourself ready. I think I said the amount is going to cost. It's going to be like a half of what other people paid in the other class. Get ready for 4 weekends, 4 straight weekends. We're going to be there. And then the second one is the boot camp, the weight loss boot camp. If you want to lose the weight, there's a boot camp for that. The boot camp is also coming up in the month of March. So when we finish this challenge on the 10th, you'll have up until the 1st of March to gather yourself so you can go. I'm not saying go back to your sin. What Jesus told that man was go and sin no more. So don't go, now that challenge is over. I won't work out again. So I'm not saying that, but you have a breathing space between February 10 and 1st of March, because 1st of March, the boot camp would start. You want to be a part of the boot camp, you have somebody you want to introduce or invite for the boot camp, we're going to throw in the flyers very soon and you can invite them to sign up. It's not for free. The boot camp is not for free. For the boot camp, you're going to have sessions like this. You are going to have therapy sessions. There will be meal plans that will be designed. There will be supplements that will be recommended for you to use and all of that. And the one funny thing is that somebody had been on my case. The person keep telling me, Dr. Deji, I know that you know supplements I can take that will make me to lose my weight very fast. But you don't want to give them. And I said yes. Intentionally, yes, because I do not trust some of the mix of what is out there. Some are in excess, some are not enough. And then the side effect of this is what I usually consider, right? We will talk about that when we get to that class. You want to know all of those things. What I've said, that okay, we're going to introduce some of them, some of the mix. We're going to introduce them so that you can use it and then have a faster result. So that's why the class will be for 4 weeks, not 12 weeks like we used to have it. It's going to be for 4 weeks, and that is the class. Then this February as well, we will migrate some of the things we do from WhatsApp to Telegram, because Telegram helps us to keep a lot of history. Telegram also helps us to even trash Zoom. If you want to, we can do this video session on Telegram, and then you can also join. We're going to move to Telegram. But there is one called Clubhouse. Clubhouse is another platform right now where people meet to share very important ideas, inspirations, and talk. Right, we're going to have one session on Clubhouse, and what I'll be talking about will be for cancer treatment, natural therapies on cancer. That day, I want to break many tables. I want to break many medical tables that day. Right, so it's going to be on the it's going to be on Saturday the 20th. Saturday the 20th, yeah. Normal time 12 p.m. That is the day of that Clubhouse event. We will send you the links on how to join and be a member and participate in it. You want to invite some other friends of yours, please. Don't be like, I don't have cancer, I don't want to have it, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to demystify it. I tell people every time that there is no mystery. Don't bother yourself. Don't fret. There is nothing about cancer. It's just a name. We can always talk about it. All right. Thank you so very much, everybody, for the time out today. I do appreciate Mrs. Olotta for being around today. Yesterday, people were asking after you. They missed your face. Thank God you showed up today. All right. So we meet tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then 6 a.m. again for UK, for US and Canada. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, so that's it from Zoom session. We'll just finish that class for the 21 Challenge TV. So our Zoom audience to just exit the space. Okay, so we'll meet the same time tomorrow on this lifestyle therapy session, and then we'll be releasing information that will be needful and helpful for your health. Thank you. I remain your host. All right, bye-bye. I didn't even know Dr. Ajayi has been